Welcome back, guys. This is a brand new video show tutorial thing we're gonna start doing. The name is a working progress title. You guys send in emails, we bring them in here, we give you feedback, we give you help, we do our thing. It's a little weird doing it on camera now, but I honestly think this is gonna be so fucking funny. I'm so excited for this. It's gonna be so much better than like an OBS screen recording. So, very first thing, we're gonna break it down and go to our email. So let's do that right now. Just pretend I'm typing like. Okay, this person, Diabolical Brain, says, yo, or says you could model a character in part 2. By the way, awesome video. I feel like that's gonna be like the entire hour if I do that, by the way. Let's just look at some other suggestions real quick. I already did this one, we're gonna put that here. I already did this one. Sorry, this is like a bit of cleanup. This is a part of the video, actually. That's the first time your Tyler Cam shows up, like 10 minutes in, you just... Yo, first of all, I want to thank you for your art and for your Patreon tutorials. I unironically love that shit when you're watching a tutorial while making the tutorial. I'm just like struggling to speak. If this is relevant, I want to ask you about weight paint stuff. I'd like to know how you manage to deal with this, and also I think it would be cool if you'd make some voiceover for one of your time lapses to better understand the process. Sorry for any mistakes, as in my letter, I am super duper extra retarded. Okay, so we might just do character, because character, that's modeling, that's texturing, that's weight painting, that's a fuck ton of shit. That'll definitely fill out an hour, so we'll probably do that, to be honest. Tyler, what do you think of that idea?
I like weight painting.
I love weight painting. Okay, so let's go to a brand new. All right, guys, so today we're gonna be working on a character. There's a lot of steps in it, from design to actually putting in the work to model it, to texturing, to weight painting, to rigging. I think we're just gonna start with like modeling a character. I don't know if I want to do it from scratch, because fuck, that's annoying as shit, but I think I will. I'm gonna make a shit character, just so you guys can like see the process of beginning to end. So very first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna pull up a character I already have, and then we'll call it done. Collection. We're just gonna break this shit down. Get rid of the widgets. Here's all of our parts, our rig. What do you think of this character, Tyler? Can you see? What does it look like?
It's like me.
Dude, it's me. We're gonna get rid of the hair because that was an asset I just pulled. Okay. Let's just start this is gonna be a long, it's not gonna be that long. I need to calm down. Let's just start with...
Calm the fuck down.
Calm down, dude. I need to chill out. We're gonna start with some shoes. Some boots, some shoes. Actually, Tyler, name a shoe.
The Yarito shoe.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know, I saw it yesterday.
Images. What? Oh, these motherfuckers. They're like the Gatorade shoes. These are pretty nice, I'm not gonna lie. Boom. We're not gonna make these pretty. We're just gonna do it. Close this. Delete. Holy fuck, my desktop looks disgusting now. I like how everything's here. Everything's ready. Dude, this fucking bug keeps flying around. Let's speedrun this as fast as possible. Go, go, go. Where did my shoes go? That's not... Dude, you're getting me freaking high with that.
Yo, Carlos, look.
Whoa. All right, first things first, bringing our image textures into Photoshop. We're gonna cut these suckers out, and then we're gonna use them as both scale reference and our textures. So we're gonna make it nice and clean. That's good. We're gonna flip it, because this is usually the angle I model at. Bada bing, bada boom. We need some of the lace here. I like how these are professionally lit. So there isn't gonna be a lot of color variation here. So it'll look nice and smooth when we're actually painting it. There, oh no. This is not good. We're just gonna lazily cut it out. Like that. Boom. And then one of the back, and then the bottom, and then we're good to just get this done. Actually, I don't even need that much of the shoe. We're fine with something like this. I only need the back. So this is good. Chop that out. Whoa! What the hell? That's the other shoe, don't need that. Okay, so I think it's this, that, and that's all we need for the back. Flip that hoe. And then the bottom. This is actually gonna be a shoe tutorial, guys. The whole episode's gonna be focusing on footwear and how to model it. I could speed run the other parts of the body, but this is how you make a texture. That's another thing people were asking, is how to make clothing textures. And really all it is you illegally pirate Photoshop, you grab some image textures, you slap them together in Photoshop, and then that's like 90% of the work. Okay, this is fine. We're gonna go with this. Export, quick export PNG. Let's put it in, we're gonna name, what the fuck are these, Jarritos?
Yarrito.
Yarrito shoes.
You gotta say it like one of you.
What do you mean, what is that supposed to mean? All right, let's bring in that texture we just made. Desktop, temp for blend. Lost it, got it. Tutorial. Oops. I need to reference scale. Okay, so this needs to be way bigger. There we go. Parts. Rig. Boom, look at that. Look, we have our texture in Blender. That's pretty cool, isn't it? So now that we have it in here, basically all we're doing is just tracing, which is really nice. You don't even have to try hard. So we're gonna start with a plane. We're gonna set it to the middle.
I thought you were making shoes. Sorry, redo your line.
Split this shit in half. Oh, I should use screencast. So you could see the button inputs. Where is it? Screencast. Yeah, there you see that in the bottom left? Now you can see what buttons I'm pressing. So all these copycats could steal exactly what I'm doing. You guys are copying off my work, that's fucked up. What are you guys trying to do? Learn by watching someone else? Sounds pretty gay. Start this. Cut this across. Don't need, actually probably need that. Take that off the screen, dude. Okay, okay. That's probably fine. Can I just grab everything here? Bring it up. Nice. Dude, we're fucking cooking. We're following the shape. Something's wrong here. Oh, is it because... What? Why is it doing that? Oh, wait. It's because this needs a cut across. Whoa, this looks fucking crazy. Bada bing, bada boom. Look at this. Oh, wait. this even. Better. Oops. Cut this across. I'm gonna leave that flat. Okay. Look at this. We have the bottom of a shoe already. Holy. It's a little fat. Now that I think about it. I'm gonna bring it in a little bit better. Scale Y0. Yeah, this is gonna be maybe less of a quote-unquote tutorial, more like a let's play, if you will. You guys are gonna be let's playing Blender with me. I think in a tutorial or two ago, I did go over making shoes, but I just like time-lapse it and voice-overed over it. So this is kind of like the other side of that, where you're actually just watching me make it from scratch. I think, does that look like a shoe? Kinda, yeah, it looks fine. We're gonna not be stingy. We're just gonna do it. That's the problem here. We're not just doing it, and we're being nitpicky. Actually, split this right up here. So yeah, we're gonna model this shoe, and then we're gonna texture it. Oh, I get to show you guys about not just basic texturing, but I'll put you guys onto stencils, which is like the superior way, a million times faster way to texture things. So it might seem like just a shoe tutorial, but I'm gonna put you guys onto some game here in a second. Oh, what's this? Reference is throwing me off. Okay. Extrude X, scale X0. Yo, we're fucking cooking. Tyler, do you see this shit?
Yeah, Rito.
Yo, it's turning into a shoe. We're gonna pull our reference back up. We're gonna pull our sides down a little bit, like this. So now it looks like this. It's starting to look like an Osiris a little bit. It's a little fat, but extrude X, scale X0, meet those in the middle. Boom. Actually, let's just do this. Scale X0. We're gonna just meet all these points in the middle. Merge at last. We'll make the hole for it in a second. Maybe cut it from here to here. Bring these in a little bit. Actually, these kind of flare. Wait, why couldn't this connect? What the merge by distance. Now they can connect. Boom. Way too boxy on this side. Okay, reference. Oh wait, oh, I don't have a front on of the shoe. So I'll just do that. These are looking like Osiris's, which is funny to me. Like that? Kinda, yeah. That's what shoes do. They kind of thin out in the middle and just connect all these bridges in the middle. Whoa. Connect these like that. Okay. This is fine. This is looking okay. How do I bridge this? Oh, that did not sound good. Okay, I need to bring this in. Yes, sir. See, that's what's throwing me off right now. The toe is just way too fucking pointy. Can I bring this down here? Bring this here. Okay. Okay, so I'd say at this point, most of the modeling work is done. All I really have to do is just cut out a shitty hole in the foot. You don't even really need to do that, especially if your pants are like covering your foot like this. I'm actually gonna scale these up from here. Look at this. You don't need to add the hole in there. This is pretty damn good. Wait, let me pull another shoe in here just for reference. Let's see how close we got without using a 3D model reference. Let's just grab the olive orange retro Jordan 5s. All right, what does this look like? Oops, let's look at both these. I mean, this is pretty close, I guess. What's the difference here? I mean, this is fucking it. This is done, basically. The topology here is kind of weird. It should be probably something like this. Yeah, this is like basically done, dude. Holy shit. Let me make this a mesh. Let's make our hole in here. Let's get rid of the faces. Even though I didn't need to, but I kind of wanted to. Let's grab this and oops. Maybe scale it in a little bit, maybe bring it down a little bit. Something, it just looks weird front on, but I think that's probably normal. What can I do to make that feel a little better? Maybe, I don't think I need to. I'm just, maybe a little bit of this. Maybe something like that.
The pointiness at the top of the shoe makes it look like an elf shoe, like at the
like
toe,
these here.
and not the toe.
Oh, the toe? Yeah, that's also true. So maybe instead of rather like one flat point, I can either flatten it.
Not even that point, the one above it.
Oh, this one here. Let me go X-ray. Something like that. But yeah, you're right. It was looking real elf there for a second like this. Okay, this is fucking fine. This is good. Wait, this is fine for a shoe. It doesn't need to be much more complicated than this. You're probably good to start texturing it. So that exact same thing we used for the scale reference here is actually going to be our stencil to paint it in and texture it. I don't have the front, but what I do have is this angle here. So the way I would, let me just show you guys. Let me show you guys what I mean. So we're going to make another window. This one's going to be our UV, so we can see our paint. We actually need to unwrap this really quickly. We're not gonna go too in depth about unwrapping, but what I can tell you is that it is somewhat important where you put your UVs. So for example, if I did, where's the option? Smart UV project, island margin like 20. Okay, you see this? Even though it automatically unwraps it for you, which is nice and clutch. I used to do this all the time when I was first getting into like texturing and whatnot. The issue is if you want to adjust the texture, so like add icons and decals or whatever the fuck, it's extremely annoying. So let me try to show you an example with some, what the fuck's it called? An old mesh I have, for example. Okay, so this right here is a very nicely unwrapped chest shirt. It's symmetrical. It's like, this is good. Let me show you what a very bad unwrapped mesh looks like. Let's go to types. Let me just go to like a very old mesh I have. Maybe this. Okay, it is. Okay, now look at this. The texture isn't on it, but obviously what happens is, so here on the bottom left, this is like the chest, and here on the right is the back. And then this right here is the sides. So if I wanted to, let's say, wrap a texture from like the front of the body to the back, if your UV is clean, you could just slap a texture onto it and it would wrap around properly. But if your UVs are split horribly like this, you would need to essentially take that, I don't know, dragon, let's say you want to put a dragon PNG on your shirt. If your UV is split like this, you would literally have to cut up your PNG image and then warp it to some of it's here, the other bit of it is over here, and then like the tail end of it is here. So it's just like very annoying if you're trying to make, add decals or like add details later on. So if it's on this, you could see it meets up, the seam is like on the back of it or whatever. So if I wanted to add some bullshit to this, it's just mad easy, because all I would have to do is put the image here and it would wrap around the body properly. Anyways, not gonna go too much more into depth. That was a little bit of yap, but it is kind of important to understand what you're doing when you're UV unwrapping shit, so you're not giving yourself headaches like later on. Yo guys, it's bisexual Cool Carlos here. Whoa. Is there's something so fucking funny about just the camera pointed at the camera operator the whole time. So stupid. All right, guys, this is perfect. I like that. This is like the. That's sick. Is this like the Cody Co camera?
No, that would be like.
So today, guys, we're gonna be reacting to Jubilee 20 Republicans versus 1 transgender person. Honestly, I think it's gonna be a pretty entertaining video. So let's get right into it. Okay, what the fuck was I saying? Okay, yeah, UV unwrapping this damn shoe. So yeah, you could just hit U, go to Smart UV Project, and it basically just auto lays out all your UVs for you. But if you take a little bit of time, you can unwrap it, so it just saves you a lot of time later on when you need to either make adjustments or do some stupid shit. So this is probably, let me hide my references. A seam at the bottom of a shoe is perfectly fine because no one's gonna see the shit. Also, a seam on the back of the shoe is good because you're mostly gonna be seeing a shoe from like this or this angle. You basically have to choose where is the least annoying place to have like a very obvious seam in your texture. So for me, it's just gonna be the bottom and the back here. So we're gonna hit right click, we're gonna mark it as a seam, and we're just gonna try. So we're gonna hit A for everything. You unwrap, how does this look? And this looks crazy, but this is probably good. So yeah, this is like an in-between of the UV idea I was like explaining earlier. So this isn't just the default Smart Island Project where it goes random. This is intentional because the sides are both mirrored and flipped. They're stacked on top of each other. Everything is like mirrored and stacked on top of each other. You can kind of see it, how everything's mirrored on each side. This is technically fine. You don't have to do what I did and do something like this, but it's just good practice. So for something, how would you say, something like low focus, something that's not really cared about, doing it split up a bunch of fucking UVs or islands or whatever, that's totally fine. But for things like shirts, sleeves, pants, faces, stuff like that, you're definitely gonna wanna put at least a little bit of effort into making sure your UVs are like clean. Okay, so this UV's fucking fine, good to go. So we're just gonna set up our stencil and we're actually gonna start texturing it now. And I'm gonna put you guys onto some game. When you're texturing, a lot of people, when they're first starting out, they go, oh, I need to texture something. So I don't know why, but the very first introduction to texturing is usually project from view. So let me add a texture real quick. We're gonna name it tutorial shoe. We're gonna go shader. We're gonna add an image texture. And we're just going to use our atlas we made. We're gonna clear out unnecessary data. Okay. So yeah, this is usually how like people first starting out go about textures. So they'll grab their model, they'll hit U, project from view, and on the side here you can see your reference. And they'll usually just line it up like this, try to make it fit. And low key, from this angle, it's fucking beautiful. This is like totally fine. Honestly, you could get away with this. Like, this looks fine. This is like clean as shit. Especially if you're zoomed out and you're looking at your character. Like, dude, this is fine. You don't have to go ham on your UVs or whatever. But sometimes, let's say, you're like, okay, well, the back here has like very obvious stretching. the front or the laces, like this shit is like very bad. So then what people are gonna do is, okay, well, I need to fix the top here. So let me go project from view here. Then they have this, and then they try to line it up and they're like, okay, this looks bad. Let me undo this so you can see it a little bit better. So then at that point, you're basically projecting from a bunch of different angles. None of your seams are gonna line up. Like obviously right here, you could see they split really bad. And that's how I was doing textures for like a super long time. I would just front on, side, back, and there would be very clear seams where the textures aren't lining up. And again, when you're starting out, that doesn't even matter at all. Most people don't care. The only people who really care are gonna be like pretentious assholes. Because obviously when you're starting out, your shit's not gonna look top-notch amazing. And if your videos or whatever you're working on, like the subject or vibe or whatever is like good, then most people are gonna ignore these small details. So again, it's fine to image project like this, but the little trick I'm gonna show you guys is going to be really quick. It might actually be a little bit, no, it's not faster than just slapping it on, but you do get a really good result. So I'm gonna start that now. So we're gonna make a new image texture. We're gonna go in here, new, or name it, what's it, Doritos? Doritos shoe painted, because we're painting our texture on. We're gonna make our alpha off. It's gonna disappear for a second. Okay, so it's invisible right now, which is kind of confusing, but that's just because our texture here is literally just a transparent alpha picture. So that's why in this mode, it's like invisible. You just switch over, now you can see your shoe again. We're chilling. We're gonna unwrap this real quick. We're gonna leave it like that. Now we're gonna make our stencil. And a stencil is essentially just a image texture you have. And it's like, how would you describe this? Imagine like a paint canvas, right? And you have all your colors on it. A stencil is essentially that, but rather than like red, green, blue, whatever color, burnt umber, you have your image texture, so that atlas we just made. So if I go over here, go to texture paint, go to the top, whatever this setting thing is, we go to texture, right now it's tiled, we set it to stencil, which is like paintbrush essentially. So we set that, we go to the bottom, and then this is just choosing your image texture to like paint onto your subject or whatever. So we're gonna go here, we're gonna open, we're gonna go temp for blend, tutorial, boom. And now when we pan over, look at that. There's our atlas we just made. And this is what we use to paint onto our shoe. So if I were to just paint over, see how it's showing up right here? The reason it's not on the shoe right now is because I accidentally, wait a second, what's going on? Hold up. Why is it painting on that side from here? What the frick? Why is it, oh, wait. I figured it out. It's because our vertices are mirrored. So always make sure that these are set properly. So we're gonna recalculate outside. Am I tripping? Why isn't it painting on this side? Hold up. Let's go here, face, texture paint. Okay, now it is painting. So if your faces are essentially backwards, so if I were to flip this one, and flip this one or whatever. Go back into object mode, go to face orientation. For some reason, Blender struggles really hard with like painting onto like flipped normals. You also get a lot of shading errors with like bad normals. And you could just think of normals as like the front side and like back side of like a sheet of paper or something. So you have to make sure you're always painting on the correct side or else it's not gonna show up. Go to object, switch this off. Okay. So all we're gonna do right now is paint our little guy in. Something you could also do before I go too deep into this is the way I have it unwrapped right now is essentially, if I wanted to paint this in, I'd have to go paint it on one side, and then I'd have to like flip it over and then start painting on the other side. If you want to though, you could take your UV and then right here, this is where I put my seam. This is like the middle of the texture. So you could take this and then flip your texture like this. Like that. Flip it from here, mirror Y. And now both halves are using the same side. So now if I wanted to, all I'd have to do is just paint one side and it copies over to the other. So is it this, like this? Perfect, yeah. That's another thing that's really nice about UV unwrapping. The only issue with this though is now anything I put onto this texture, so if I were to go texture paint, then we pull out the painted texture. If I were to, can I just put white on this or something? Oh, okay, yeah. We'll just say this bottom of the shoe is like our cool decal we're adding. Like that. It's gonna show up on the other side, as you can see here. It shows up on both sides. That's like the one downfall of using a wrap or a flipped texture, is that anything on one side is gonna be on the other side. So it does make it faster, but it comes at the cost of you can't have like unique sides or anything. Also, if I were to wrap something around, let's say the toe here, or if I were to do this, it's mirrored across. So if I wanted a dragon, that's gonna be my example, to go across the toes, I wouldn't be able to do it because it would either be both sides of the head or both sides of the tail. That's just a rambly bullshit nonsense about UVs. But anyways, let's just paint this really quick and just finish it. Line this bitch up. Oh, let me put this on so I can line it up with, now we're cooking. Boom, clean. For the toe, I don't have a front on, but I do have like an off angle on this image here. I could just try to line it up like this. It's gonna be kind of weird. This might be good. I'm gonna make the brush a little smaller. It's not perfect. It's not perfect at all, but this is probably okay. Let me use the side of it like this. Who cares? You could spend the time fucking making it clean, but for the sake of this example tutorial, I'm just probably gonna leave it because I don't care that much about it. I'm just showing you guys how to do it. I don't have to do good. I just have to show you guys that it's possible to do. So we're gonna finish up this toe. I really don't like how like pointy this is. It's like throwing me off. Let me look at the texture real quick. What's going on? It's like way flatter, so I'm just gonna fix that by doing, oops. Let's just bring this in and bring this in. And this is probably gonna, oh, I forgot it's not mirrored. Hold up. Oh, my texture, fuck. Here's another thing, guys. So, while you're texture painting, Blender is basically live applying the shit you're painting to your image texture. But if you Command Z a few times, Blender will go, oh, that thing you were painting, I completely forgot about it. So I just lost all of my texture. I've done this like multiple times after learning stencils. But remember, while you're texture painting, don't Command Z a bunch of times because your texture will literally just disappear. Which is fine, because I was like painting silly willy-nilly all over it. So we're just gonna go back to our layout. Okay, and now we're just gonna speedrun paint it because I've been on this section a little too long. So we're just gonna finish it as fast as I can. That's good. Paint that shit in. That. That's good. We'll just slap this on. That's good. Okay, yeah, so as I was saying, basically always remember to, while you're painting, because you will by muscle memory, either do Command Z at some point or accidentally do something else. So remember to, while it's being painted here, you can go to Image, go to Save As, put it wherever the hell you want it, and save it there. So now if I Command Z a bunch, I wonder what happens. It will just disappear still. So, but thankfully you saved that texture you were painting, so you can just slap it back in. So yeah, remember to save your shit, because you will probably accidentally delete it and then be frustrated, especially if you're doing like a torso or like some shit and you spent like 5 minutes painting it. I'm gonna call this done diddly. Actually, we're gonna do the bottom just because might as well. Let's grab our shoe texture here. Let me select just these faces. Texture paint, select this. So now only the faces we selected are gonna get painted, which can be useful. All right, let's just lazily paint it in. And like I said, if you were like really fucking annoyed and you're like, dude, I don't like how the seams don't match up, you could definitely go through it and take the time to paint it better. So if I were to go 3D view, turn this off, I'm like paying attention. So I was like this or something, right? You could definitely line it up and make it like way better. And you're like, dude, look, it doesn't line up here properly. Well, you can go from this weird angle. Let me grab this. Make your shit bigger. Oh yeah, I could do this. And kind of blend the in-between. Like I said, I'm not gonna go too ham and fucking make this a perfectly nice texture. Literally just pulling up a reference and tracing it and then adding small amounts of detail later. Stencils. Super fucking useful, very important. They are gonna save you a lot of time, and you can make your textures look way more detailed, especially if you can essentially substance paint like small little details onto it. UV unwrapping. Not that important for small objects. Okay, oh yeah, so here's the UV philosophy, okay? So if it's low focus or low consideration props, you probably don't need to substance paint or to texture paint it. You probably just UV project and slap it somewhere. Like if I'm making a table, right? I'm not gonna spend 15 minutes painting the texture on, since all of its sides are like pretty flat. I could just slap it on and then I would have saved myself a fuck ton of time. The only time I use stencils is essentially for face textures and clothing. Everything else for the most part can just be UV, like project from viewed. What do you think, Tyler?
I think it was super informative.
Hell yeah. We covered how to model a shoe, we covered UV unwrapping, we covered stencils, we covered the very basic fundamentals of texturing. Feel free to email Knopes directly. Subject line, tutorial, and we'll cover your subjects and ideas and stuff. Feel free to send in your work. We'll critique it. We'll be nice, but we'll look through it and we'll give you pointers if you want. Now, that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and shout out Nuck. Thank you guys for subscribing to the Patreon. We really appreciate that. We're gonna aim to make these near once a week-ish, somewhere in that range. So again, thank you guys for your support, patronage, and bro fist. Mwah.